3 points. That is all that separates Arsenal from Manchester City right now. And every single second of this Saturday afternoon matters more than almost any other moment this entire season. Welcome to James Arsenal Analysis. I'm James. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on your notifications, give this video a like, and stay with me until the very end, because today we are breaking down everything. The title race, the injury updates, the tactical matchup, and exactly what Arsenal need to do this Saturday when Newcastle United come to the Emirates. This is the biggest home game of the season. Let's get into it. Let me set the scene for you first, because context is everything right now. Arsenal led Manchester City by 9 points not so long ago. 9. That felt like a cushion. That felt like breathing room. That felt to many of us like this was finally going to be the year. The year Mikel Arteta would lift that Premier League trophy and write his name permanently into Arsenal folklore. And then came Bournemouth at the Emirates. A 2-1 home defeat that nobody saw coming, and that sent a shiver through every Arsenal supporter on the planet. And then, 4 days later, came the trip to the Etihad. Now, I want to be honest with you here, because that is what this channel is about. Sunday's performance against Manchester City was not a catastrophe. Arsenal were bold. Arsenal were assertive. Kai Havertz got his goal. Eberechi Eze hit the post with a long-range strike that was inches away from being the moment of the season. Gabriel thumped a header against the base of the post from a free kick in the dying minutes. This was not a capitulation. This was a title clash worthy of the great Klopp versus Guardiola battles of years past. Two teams going at each other, neither willing to yield, and in the end it came down to Erling Haaland swiveling inside the area after 65 minutes and finishing with that cold, ruthless precision that defines him. The result was a 2-1 City win, Arsenal's second consecutive Premier League defeat. The first time the Gunners have lost back-to-back league games since December 2023. And now the gap is 3 points, with City holding a game in hand. Here is where the knife really twists. City visit Burnley on Wednesday night. Burnley, who are all but relegated, who have nothing to play for except pride. If City win that match, and the vast majority of the football world expects them to, they go level on points with Arsenal at the top of the Premier League. Same points, potentially same goal difference situation, and both sides would have 5 games remaining. So when Newcastle United walk out at the Emirates this Saturday, this is not just 3 points in a football match. This is Arsenal either going back to the top of the table or potentially sitting in second place for the first time in months. This is momentum. This is mentality. This is everything. And Mikel Arteta knows it. The man said it himself before the City game when asked what his biggest lesson has been from years of title races falling short. He said, without hesitation, get all the players available in April. Get your best players on the pitch as much as possible. April, May, full squad. He said the probability to win the title increases dramatically. He said it is as simple and as difficult as that. It has proven difficult again. But this week, there is reason for genuine optimism returning to London Colney. Let me give you the injury picture, because this is the story within the story. Bukayo Saka, the captain, the heartbeat of this Arsenal team. He has been absent since the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City at Wembley, missing the last 5 games with an Achilles injury, a problem, it must be said, that he had been managing for some time before that final. The update this morning is genuinely positive. Saka is back in training. He is on the grass. He has been building towards this moment all week, and the expectation is that he will be available for the Newcastle fixture, most likely from the bench as a managed return. He is not expected to start from minute 1, given the need to protect him from any risk of re-aggravation. But the fact that he is back in contention at all, after a week that had sections of social media convinced he might not feature again this season, is enormous news for this football club. Because look at what Arsenal have had to do in his absence. Noni Madueke has been doing his level best. The former Chelsea winger has shown energy, he has shown effort, and he has bagged a couple of goals this season. But in 22 Premier League appearances, he has not once played 90 minutes in the league. He has not been the consistent attacking weapon that this Arsenal right side demands. And behind him, both Ben White and Christian Mosquera have been asked to fill in at right back in a position that is really not natural for either of them right now. White is an excellent footballer, no question about that. But his greatest strength is that relationship he has with Saka, the overlapping runs, the combinations, the instinctive understanding they have built together on that right side. Without Saka ahead of him, White looks a different player, less willing to commit forward, less dangerous, more cautious, And Mosquera for all his composure and physical presence, qualities that made Arsenal pay good money to bring him from Valencia, is still adapting to the Premier League. He is 21 years old, and he is learning. Then there is young Max Staumann. This kid is fearless. I want to make that absolutely clear. 16 years old, coming off the bench in the cauldron of big European nights and late Premier League pressure games, and showing absolutely no fear whatsoever. In 14 minutes off the bench in Lisbon against Sporting CP, he was fouled 3 times. 3 times in 14 minutes because defenders decided the only way to stop him was to kick him. That is the highest compliment a defender can pay a winger. But we cannot ask Max Staumann to be a starting solution in a title run. He is 16, he is magnificent, and he deserves to be managed carefully so that he becomes what he is clearly going to become, a major Arsenal player for years to come. The right side needs Saka. And on current reports, Saka is coming back. Now, Yuri and Timber. This one is developing, and the news is cautiously positive, but not yet confirmed. The Dutch defender has been out for over a month with a groin injury and missed the Manchester City fixture entirely. Timber's absence has genuinely hurt Arsenal in ways that the headlines do not always capture. Yes, he is the best right-back option at the club. Yes, his defensive solidity and positioning are elite. But what this season has revealed is just how central Timber is to Arsenal's attacking structure too. 3 goals and 5 assists in the league this season from a right-back. He drifts into almost a number 10 position at times, creating overloads in central areas, occupying spaces that leave Saka free to work one-on-one down the flank. Timber and Saka together on that right side is one of the best attacking combinations in the Premier League. The hope is that Timber can return this Saturday. Arteta will not rush him, but there is genuine optimism around his availability. Riccardo Calafiori, the Italian left-back, is being monitored after a recent knock kept him out. He is believed to be working his way back and should be in contention. His profile is unique in this Arsenal squad. Aggressive, ball-carrying, capable of appearing in dangerous positions in the final third, in a way that gives Arteta an unpredictable outlet down the left. With the title race potentially coming down to goal difference, every additional attacking threat matters. Martin Odegaard is confirmed available. He was back for the City game and played his part. The captain's armband, the passing range, the intelligent positioning. Odegaard is back and Arsenal are a better team for it. Mikel Merino remains out. This is confirmed. He underwent foot surgery in February, and Arsenal confirmed at the time that he would be sidelined for an extended period. The intention is to get him back before the season ends, but that remains uncertain. His absence has been felt deeply. His versatility in midfield, his ability to operate between the lines, the physical presence he brings, all of that has been missing. Martin Zubimendi has been carrying an enormous workload without him, and the Spaniard has looked increasingly tired over recent weeks. A fully fit Merino would have made this entire run-in a different conversation. Now let me talk about the opponent, because Newcastle United do not deserve to be taken lightly just because they sit in 14th place. Eddie Howe, remember this man. Remember what he did at Bournemouth. Remember what he built at Newcastle from the moment he took over. This is a manager who organises his teams brilliantly, who is tactically flexible, and who has absolutely no interest in allowing Arsenal a comfortable afternoon in North London. Newcastle finished their 2024-25 season winning the Carabao Cup at Wembley, beating Liverpool in a gritty 2-1 final. They punched their way back into the Champions League. And this season, they have been competing on multiple fronts, including European football. They are not a team that rolls over. Howe has reshaped his squad significantly. Alexander Isak, that brilliant Swedish striker who tormented so many Premier League defences, departed in the summer. To replace the goals and the threat, Newcastle brought in Nick Woltermaid from VfB Stuttgart in a record-breaking deal for the club. They also signed Yoani Wissa as an additional striking option. And in a major attacking statement, they landed Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest for a fee that could rise to around £55 million. Elanga has pace, directness, and the ability to cause problems behind high defensive lines. However, there is injury news from the Newcastle camp that Arsenal will be monitoring very carefully. Anthony Gordon is a doubt. Howe confirmed in his most recent press conference that Gordon missed Thursday and Friday training with a knock he picked up midweek. Howe said they are unclear whether Gordon will make the Arsenal game, adding that he does not believe it is a long-term injury, but whether he is ready in time is uncertain. For those who may not follow Newcastle closely, Gordon is their most dynamic and creative forward presence, the player who makes them go. His absence would change their attacking threat considerably. Tino Livramento is also a doubt, and Howe described it as a huge blow. Livramento at right back is important to Newcastle's ability to push forward down their right side. Fabian Schär is dealing with an ankle injury picked up in mid-April and is a concern in central defence. Joelinton, who is absolutely crucial to Newcastle's midfield energy and pressing intensity, is suspended. That suspension alone removes a significant physical presence from Howe's engine room. Dan Burn is out with a rib injury. Emil Kraft has a knee injury and is absent. Yoane Wissa is short of match fitness and is unlikely to play a major role. This is a depleted Newcastle travelling to the Emirates. But depleted does not mean defeated, and anyone who has watched enough football knows that a team with nothing to lose and an organised defensive structure can make life extremely difficult on any given Saturday afternoon. Tactically, what should we expect from Arsenal? With the possibility of Saka returning from the bench, Arteta will almost certainly start with Noni Madueke on the right wing again. But if Timber is available at right back, that changes the dynamic of that entire flank immediately. Timber provides genuine width in attack, gives Madueke license to drift inside, and creates the kind of numerical advantages in the half spaces that Arsenal have been missing. Through the middle, Arteta will likely line up with Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi anchoring the midfield. Rice has been imperious this season, a genuine candidate for player of the season in the Premier League. His ability to win the ball, drive forward, distribute intelligently, and absorb huge physical workloads makes him the spine of this Arsenal team. Zubimendi has been excellent too, though the fatigue is showing. Arteta will be hoping Rice can carry that extra 10% on his shoulders today. Kai Havertz in the number 10 role behind Victor Gyökeres. The German has been one of the most improved players in the division this season, and his goal at the Etihad on Sunday was a reminder of the quality he brings. Sharp movement, clinical finishing when the moment arrives, intelligent pressing from the front, and then Gyökeres, the Swedish striker, the signing that raised eyebrows when it was confirmed because of the fee. But who has been delivering? His physical presence, his link-up play, his work rate off the ball, all of it has given Arsenal a frontline presence they genuinely lacked in previous title challenges. Gabriel Martinelli on the left, Ebireshi, Eze or Ethan Nwaneri in supporting roles depending on the shape Arteta opts for. And the back four, anchored by William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, two of the best centre-backs in world football. When those two are playing, when they are commanding, this Arsenal defence is as good as anything in Europe. And David Raya in goal, who has been consistent and composed throughout the campaign. For Newcastle, without Joelinton and potentially without Gordon, Howe will likely look to sit compact, defend in a low block and hit Arsenal on the counter through Alanga and Walter Maid's pace. Bruno Guimaraes remains their most dangerous player in possession, a midfielder with the technical quality and the vision to create moments from nothing. Arsenal's midfield must be alert to him. Rice in particular will have a job managing the physical battle with what remains of Newcastle's engine room. The key battle of this game will be Arsenal's ability to break down a disciplined Newcastle defensive shape at a stadium that will be pulsing with electricity and desperation. The Emirates crowd will be electric. Every tackle, every chance, every moment will carry the weight of a title race, and Arsenal's players know exactly what is at stake. There is one thing I want to say to you directly as a supporter before we get to the final summary. I know what the last few weeks have felt like. I know the anxiety. I have lived it too. The Bournemouth defeat, the City game, watching Haaland score and feeling that familiar tightening in the chest that every Arsenal supporter knows too well from years of near misses. I understand all of that. But let me give you some perspective that I think matters. Arsenal are still top of the Premier League with 5 games remaining. They are in the Champions League semi-final against Atletico Madrid, which is another opportunity for this club to write history on the biggest stage in club football. They have a home game this Saturday in which Manchester City are not playing a league match, a direct opportunity to go back to the top regardless of what happens on Wednesday at Burnley. And the injury situation, which has plagued this entire April, is finally beginning to resolve. Saka is coming back. Timber is close. The squad is nearly whole again. Arteta said that having your best players available in April is the biggest lesson from previous title races. This Arsenal squad has learned that lesson the hard way, again this year, but the timing of these returns right now, right before the final 5 games, could not be more significant. The Newcastle game is not just a football match this Saturday. It is the moment Arsenal get to reassert themselves. It is the moment Saka potentially walks back onto that Emirates pitch to a roar that will shake the foundations of the stadium. It is the moment this team, this manager, and this fan base look each other in the eye and say, we are still here, we are still fighting, and we are not done. Let me bring you the final summary for the outline script ahead of Saturday. The match kicks off at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday, the 25th of April, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. UTC. Arsenal versus Newcastle United, Premier League match week 34. Arsenal go into this game in first place with 70 points. Manchester City sit 3 points behind with a game in hand. The title race is alive. Every point is precious. For Arsenal, the confirmed injury absentee is Mikel Merino, who is out following foot surgery and will not feature. Ricardo Calafiori is being monitored after his recent knock. Bukayo Saka is expected to be available, most likely as an impact substitute initially. Jurriën Timber's return is a developing situation with optimism around his availability. Martin Odegaard is fit and available. The rest of the squad is in contention. For Newcastle, Joelinton serves his suspension and is absent. Dan Burn and Emil Kraft are out injured. Fabian Schär is a concern. Anthony Gordon and Tino Livramento are both doubts after failing to train. Yoane Wissar is building match fitness and is unlikely to feature heavily. Eddie Howe's side are coming to the Emirates significantly disrupted by their own injury and suspension issues. The tactical key for Arsenal is unlocking a compact Newcastle defensive block, managing the Bruno Guimaraes threat in midfield, and using the energy of the Emirates crowd to drive this performance from the first whistle. If Timber returns at right back and Saka is introduced from the bench in the second half, Arsenal have a genuine momentum shift built into their game plan. 3 points on Saturday afternoon. That is the goal. That is the only goal. Put Newcastle to the sword. Go into Wednesday's City versus Burnley. Result in the best possible position and carry that energy into what is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic final runs to a Premier League season in recent memory. This is Arsenal's title to win. The players know it. The manager knows it. And on Saturday at the Emirates, in front of 60,000 supporters who have waited 22 years for this moment, it is time to show the rest of the world they know it too. I am James. This is James Arsenal Analysis. If you have not subscribed yet, do it now. Hit that button, turn on notifications, because every video from here until the end of this season is going to matter. Like this video, if you want Arsenal to win the title, drop a comment below. Are you confident ahead of Newcastle, or are the nerves getting to you? Let me know. I read every single one. Stay with the Gunners. We are not done. Not by a long way.